Time, space, reality. It's more than a linear path. It's a prism of endless possibility. A single choice can branch out into infinite realities, creating alternate worlds from the ones you know. Wow, I am the Watcher. Follow me and ponder the question. What if? What's up, guys? Welcome to Marvel Madness, the Season 2 finale of Marvel's What If in Review. My name is Kyle. Thanks for checking out Project Potter, guys. We're here for Season 2, Episode 9. I have really loved this season, and I gotta say, man, I had some issues with this finale, so I'll get into those in a bit. Appreciate you guys. We got the MCU cabinet here. I'm going to do a rambling recap, which is my thoughts on the episode. Strongest character, weakest, score out of 10. Let's go. This was such a disappointment for me because I've loved this season and it's been building up, and I'm like, how is this all going to tie together? Is it going to tie together? Doctor Strange comes over. He still looks like evil Doctor Strange, but he's kind of acting like normal Doctor Strange, and it turns out that his grief is too powerful, and there are just too many puzzle pieces for this finale. There's too much going on, and it could have been really, really awesome, and instead it was not. Instead, they just had too many things going on, man, and it's like, this is the problem with the multiverse saga, is that it's really cool because there are so many different possibilities and villains and things like that and opportunity, but then it makes you not care about any of it because you have stuff like this where there's all these villains from all these different universes, and when Strange said he was collecting all these universe killers, that was really cool. And Peggy was like, something's gonna happen because she's like Jurassic Park, Gremlins. She's like, anytime you collect something bad and put it in the same place, something bad is gonna happen. So Strange is trying to bring back his world for Christine, and it's like, didn't we move past this? And it feels strange. They're just kind of harping on this storyline, and Peggy has to find like a universe killer, and Doctor Strange is like, actually it's a she, and I was like, oh, it's probably going to be Wanda, but then I didn't even think it was going to be Kahori, and that was awesome. And for a second I thought it was Quicksilver, and I was like waiting for that. You didn't see that coming, but we didn't get that. We got Kahori, and I loved Kahori in the opening episode, and go watch that review, guys. Absolutely astounded. It was great. They bring Kahori back, and this is a problem that I have with new characters. They made her way too powerful, dude. Like, way too powerful. This is like Captain Marvel for me. First of all, they just like completely disregard the Infinity Stones. Like, Killmonger shows up with the Infinity Suit, which is what Infinity Ultron had before. I didn't even see Infinity Ultron here, which is so weird because he mentions him. He's like, oh, Infinity Ultron, remember him? And then Peggy knocks all the globes free, which you don't think that they should be able to just be let free from like a shield, but anyway, there's a lot of problems with this episode. There's like all these villains, these universe killers are fighting, and it's cool, but then it's like Hela and Ragnarok Solter, whatever his name is, start fighting. But Kahori is so powerful, and I'm like, dude, first of all, Kahori just speaking English now, and I'm like, you didn't speak a lick of English in the first episode, and it was beautiful, and it was great, and now you're just talking to Peggy like you guys are best pals. And the team up with Peggy and Kahori, I hate to say this, guys, but it felt woke. They were like, hey, we have two female superheroes, and they gotta team up, and they gotta take down Doctor Strange, and I'm just like Peggy Carter just wearing the Infinity Suit. So Killmonger has the Infinity Suit, and Kahori just immediately separates him from the suit. And I'm like, how are you this strong, dude? You just got your powers. They introduced Mjolnir, and the whole thing about Mjolnir is that only Thor and, spoilers, and Captain America can wield it. And then she just uses magic to use Mjolnir, and then she's just using the 10 rings, and I'm like, taking away from what makes these so cool is that you have to master these weapons. And it's just like, dude, there's too much going on. There's a forge, and it's like, what? How did he build this forge? There was no mention of it. All of a sudden, he's just like, oh yeah, I'm trying to get Christine back. We know Doctor Strange is super powerful, but this was just like anime fight times 1,000, and I just couldn't find myself caring about it because it was too much. It was so many powers and stuff, and the effects were cool, but like there was no build up to this. I was like, dude, Strange hasn't been the villain all season, and we haven't even focused on him. Like, and it's like, why did Wanda bring Peggy into the other time and they saved 1602? That felt random now, and it's just like, I don't know, man. This felt super rushed, and like Infinity Ultron was a huge deal last season, and then he didn't even come back, and they didn't even mention him. And if Infinity Ultron escaped, which presumably Peggy knocked everything out, And he had the Infinity Suit. How did Killmonger get it so easily? And Killmonger got it last season, but like that was so weird because Killmonger isn't worthy of all the Infinity Stones, and it's like it just degrades like everything Thanos worked for the Infinity Saga, where it's like the whole thing was that the Avengers couldn't stop Thanos because he was unstoppable once he got all of the stones. And he even like snaps in this one, and that was cool. But then it was like a Killmonger snapped him out or something. It was just too much, dude. And I was like, this isn't earned. This isn't cool. But I'm kind of pissed because I loved Kahori, and they just made her way too powerful. And I'm like, dude, and just taught her English apparently within this is the second time we've seen her, dude. And I'm just really disappointed because I really love this season, but this is what I was worried about, is that none of this would matter at the end. And I don't know, guys, there are cool moments, and like when Doctor Strange is like, there's more of us than you, and he's like, actually there isn't, and he does the cool thing where there's a bunch of Doctor Stranges, and then Peggy is just like, oh, I'm just gonna make a bunch of Captain Carters. And it's like, how does Peggy know how to use any of the stones? And it's like, who made the Infinity Suit? I think they did that last season maybe, but I don't know. They didn't even get the team back together. They should have done like an original team up of the Guardians of the Multiverse. It was dumb. It was a dumb finale. I'm very disappointed, and that's what I got to say about this one. Okay, guys, the strongest character for this one, I feel like the obvious choice is Peggy, but then Peggy was just like, again, just so powerful. So I'm gonna go with the Watcher. Even this, I don't feel great. I'm so annoyed with this episode. I don't feel great about choosing the Watcher, because at the end he's like, well, Peggy, the multiverse didn't need me to intervene, it needed you. But then I'm like, but dude, you just spent like 4 episodes telling her not to intervene. So it's like, you were telling her no, and then if she listened to you, then what, the multiverse would have been destroyed? It doesn't make any sense, dude. And it's like all the goodwill of season 2 that Marvel built up, they just threw away. And I know it doesn't necessarily need to matter in the MCU, but like this is the problem with the show, is that all these events happen, and then like Doctor Strange is dead now, so it's like, I'm sure we didn't get rid of Doctor Strange in the live action MCU, so it's like it would have been cool if we could like tie these things together and it set up like the next thing. And I guess the spoiler at the end is that like they go to see Eagerstill. He's like, you gotta see this, and it's like, are they gonna go talk about Loki, God of Stories? Like, I don't know, dude. It's confusing, I guess, and they probably edited it in after Loki season 2, but the Watcher is still really cool character design, but it just feels like he doesn't really know everything anymore, and his mystique is kind of wearing off. But I guess he's my favorite character for the finale. My least favorite character, guys, it's not a person, it's a place, like New Asgard. It's all the powers. All the powers, dude. All of the things. It's undermining the MCU in the Infinity Saga, because, you know, Mjolnir, you can just use Mjolnir if you have magic powers. You can just use the 10 rings if you have magic powers. This character has had one 30-minute episode, and then suddenly such an amazing and likable character is just super powerful. And it's like, this is why I don't like this. That's why, like, when Captain Marvel came in Endgame and just like started wrecking Thanos, I was like, dude, you just came in for 2 minutes, and it's like no one could defeat Thanos, and then now you're just wrecking him with your superpowers, and it's like, you can't have people who are too powerful. So sorry if I'm ranting, guys. I just this finale pissed me off. A score for this one, guys, it's a 5-4. It's inconsequential. It doesn't matter. And even though the visual effects were cool and some of the lines were cool, Stephen Strange just ends up recreating the world for Christine, and then he ends up dying and not even seeing it. And it's just like, so no one gets a happy ending? Like, I guess Peggy's going back to her time, but I don't know, man. This episode's just a mess overall, and what a waste. Guys, well, that is it. It's too bad because this finale leaves a sour taste in my mouth. What was otherwise just a really fantastic season. Not the destination, it's the journey, but like it kind of makes the journey seem kind of useless, because this is what I was worried about, guys. So I don't know, man. This finale of What If is bumming me out. I didn't expect that, but I was emotionally kind of invested in this season, and then it just ended up being all for nothing. So appreciate you guys. Like, comment, subscribe. Until next time, guys. What if?